There's been mud on my soul, there's been anger inside me, there's still unforgiven deeds that now it's time to free. I've been trapped inside so long, don't remember how to live, how much of life has passed me by as I slept inside my dreams. Oh yes, sip the waters too, let them wash all over you. Here you are at last, free yourself from past and walk into the new. Be guided by what's true, causing no one harm, least of all. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sat-Chit-Anand Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase.
Satyam Shivam Sundaram Sansarasaram Abhayankaram Dukhaharam Karunavataram Jyotirmayam Swayambhu Prakritistudaram Shivasmarami Jagat Swami Nirvikaram.
Om Shanti. Call only that one, a true Vaishnava, who understands others' pains, who helps them in their suffering, but has no arrogance in his heart. The one who respects everyone in this world and speaks ill of none, who is unwavering in speech, action and thought. Blessed, blessed is his mother, the one who sees everyone as equal and has given up desire, who views others' wife as mother, whose tongue does not lie, who does not touch another's wealth, who is not bound by illusory attachments, whose detachment is firm and whose heart is immersed in Ram's name. All places of pilgrimage are within his body. The one who is without greed or deceit, who has subdued anger and lust, on seeing that one, says Narsiya, 71 generations are saved. Vaishnava Janat Tene Kahi Chepir Parai Jane Re. Only the one who can understand others' pain, who helps them in their suffering, and who doesn't have any arrogance. He is the one who is true Vaishnava. We have often heard in Murlis that Baba says, you are real, true Vaishnavas. The exact date of starting of Bhakti is unknown, but they say that it was the 7th century when the Bhakti started, and it started in North India, and then gradually it spread across the northern India by 13th century, and then many great devotees were born, and the Bhakti movement spread across different parts of India. And in India, there are 5 types of movements. The first one are Vaishnavas. They worship Vishnu, and they occupy the majority. According to one survey, it is 86.6% of the Hindus who are Vaishnavas. The second are Shaivets. They worship Shiva. Third are Shaktas. They worship Mother Shakti. The fourth are Ganapatyas. They worship Ganapati. And fifth are those who worship God Surya, sun worshippers. So there has been an eternal fight all the time as to who is greater. Shiva is greater Vishnu is greater. Even in Vaishnavism, there are two paths. Worshipper of Vishnu and worshipper of Rama. Even they are at loggerheads with each other. Even then there are other paths, like there are worshippers of Vishnu and worshippers of Krishna. So worshippers of Krishna, they say that Krishna is even greater than Vishnu. But others say that no, Krishna is just an incarnation of Vishnu. But then those who are devout worshippers of Krishna, they say it's not like that. Krishna is the main, original. And this Vishnu and all others, they arose from him. So there are many things. And the true essence of Vaishnavism is lost. But who is greater? There are many stories. Narada is visiting a place where he sees some rishis are performing yajna. So he asks them, unto whom you are offering this yajna? They say, we don't know really. Then he says that you must test the three gods, the Trinity. Brahma is greater or Vishnu is greater or is Shankar or Vishnu, Shiva is greater. So one of the rishis was appointed for this task. So Bhrigu was appointed. So he first of all visits Brahma Loka. And Brahma is so busy that he doesn't take cognizance of this Bhrigu. So Bhrigu gives him a curse that henceforth nobody will worship you. Then he goes to Shankar, Kailash, but Shankar is busy with Parvati. So he gives him curse, henceforth you will be only worshipped as a Shivalingam. That's it. Then he goes to Vishnu, and Vishnu is in his ocean of milk, Kshisagar. He's lying there. But even he doesn't see Bhrigu. So Bhrigu is already so furious because of his past two experiences. So he hits Vishnu on his chest. And Vishnu wakes up and says, oh, my chest is so hard. And he starts massaging. So Bhrigu is happy. So he comes to the conclusion that Vishnu is greatest amongst the three. So those who worship Vishnu are known as Vaishnavas. And so many other scholars came and philosophers like Ramanuja, after Shankaracharya, Ramanuja, Madhavacharya, Vallabhacharya, who advocated Pushti Marg, which say that Krishna alone is the greatest. And Brahma Baba was born in this family of Vallabhacharya, in this sect who follow Vallabhacharya. So Vallabhacharya means they worship just Krishna and none else. Krishna is the greatest, the be-all, the end-all, the highest. And those who worship Vishnu are called Vaishnavas. So in Sakar Murlis we hear this word. Baba says, you are true Vaishnavas. So what is the meaning of that? They don't touch anything impure. They don't touch anything which is impure. Purity is very important. When I say touch, it means food, extremely pure food, prepared in remembrance. It's known as Vaishnav Prasad. Brahma Bhojan has got three names: Brahma Bhojan, Vaishnav Prasad and Yajna Prasad. So they prepare food with extreme meticulousness. Even the person who is preparing food, nobody is allowed to enter the kitchen of Vaishnavas. And the person who prepares the food should be the master of his senses. That's why those people who prepare food in India, what are they called? Maharaja. They wear unstitched clothes. One cloth. No stitching business. And nobody is allowed to enter the kitchen when this guy is preparing food. So the extreme stress is on food. And all the Vaishnavas, especially Pushti Marg, propagated by Vallabhacharya, they avoid onion and garlic, or both of them are aphrodisiac. They stimulate sexual, sensual desires. That's why they say that this is a tamasic food that should be rejected. So Vaishnavas across the world, they avoid this sort of food. So, purity of food. Ayurveda says that whatever you eat is divided in 3 parts. The first part, the lowest part becomes excreta, the heaviest. The middle part becomes the body, and the third, the subtlest, the lightest part becomes mind. So whatever food you eat, some part of it goes and becomes mind. So Vaishnava means who eats pure food. That's the definition of Vaishnava. Baba says you all are Vaishnavas. You are pure, you are real Vaishnavas. In fact, you do not worship Vishnu, but you are going to become like Vishnu. So that's your identity. And another important thing is, whenever you eat anything, the best is to eat in silence, all alone. This table talk is a dangerous thing. Conscious eating doesn't happen. Conscious drinking doesn't happen. So when you sit with many people and eat, you always overeat. You are not conscious of what you are eating. It always leads to overeating. And you are not in remembrance. So best is to sit alone and eat. Conscious eating, conscious drinking, in silence, in Baba's remembrance, and with very calm mind, with a sense of gratitude, without complaining attitude. So, when you have that feeling, even a glass of juice is enough for you, for the whole day. So that is the first. The second, Vaishnava means, as the song says, that is a song by Narsi Mehta, the 14th century saint of Gujarat, and highly popularized by Mahatma Gandhi, and that used to be a usual chant when he was in Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad. The true Vaishnava is one who does not give any pain to others, and who knows, who realizes the pain the other person is suffering from. One is to feel mercy. Oh, somebody is suffering. You feel bad for that person, but you are not doing anything. Something higher than mercy is compassion. You feel the pain. Somebody is suffering. You have a desire to do something for that person. Compassion. Higher than compassion is something between, or the first step is sympathy. Sympathy, and then mercy, and then compassion. You go ahead, and there is something known as empathy. Empathy is to feel the pain. One is sahanubhuti, another is samanubhuti. You feel the pain the other is having. The heart has expanded. It has broken the limited consciousness, has entered the unlimited consciousness of Karuna. So Vaishnava is a somebody, not to speak of giving pain to somebody, but you understand the pain, the misery, the suffering. Even if somebody is angry with you, or insults you, or talk against you, or backbites you, look it from the other side. Why the person is doing like that? Probably he is disturbed at heart. He is suffering. He is just venting out his anger. I remember there was one patient who died now, long back, but he used to come for dialysis. And once he was so angry, so he came in the OPD and he tore all the papers. And he had all the medications and just threw on me. He said, I don't want anything of yours. And I'm not going to come to this place again. He was furious, angry. He just tore everything and threw and walked out. I didn't say anything. This patient was on dialysis. He used to come twice a week. Sometimes earlier thrice, then twice, and then sometimes once. His family condition was very poor. Only son who was paralyzed, he is still there. The son is still there. He is mentally retarded. Mother is also poor. So this family is in Mount Abu from last 50 years. They have seen Brahma Baba. They have seen how the yajna grew. But then they never got touched. So I didn't say anything because I knew somewhere this family is very in poverty, lot of financial issues, lot of mental stress. So this anger is just the manifestation of that. It is appearing that it is towards me, but it was not towards me. It is rather the venting of the suppressed feelings. In the evening he came again. So Vaishnava is somebody who doesn't react, who doesn't give way to anger. In one of the Murlis, Baba said, somebody is speaking untruth and you feel angry. Oh, he is speaking untruth. So he has spoken untruth and you became angry. So you are also no less. Anger rather is a greater vice than untruth. He has just spoken, but you got angry, you got furious, your heart rate gone up, adrenaline rushing in the system. Can you do yoga after anger? If you had a fight, what is the Amrit Vela next day? If you had a fight with somebody, no Amrit Vela. So, it is not that you recognize Baba and you start wearing badge and white dress, that this sanskar transformation has happened. This is just 1% of the journey. You have begun, you have entered the Brahmin world. Just the entry, initial realization, initial touching. Western double foreigners call this a honeymoon period of Brahmin life. So everything is so happy. You get Baba's help every now and then. You get Baba's experience, extreme intoxication. But after that, the dress, the badge, the rules, the regulations, a new lifestyle, it becomes a routine. And no zest, no enthusiasm. Everything is lost. And then person thinks of giving up everything and going somewhere, trying some new options. So becoming Brahmin does not mean that personality change has happened. Personality change is entirely different phenomenon. Simply changing name or attaching BK before your name or changing clothes does not bring about personality change. Personality change is a very deep process. To transform personality, the work has to be done at a subconscious mind, because the patterns are created at a very deeper level. As we were discussing yesterday, this is mind. There are two parts. This is conscious mind, just one part, and the ninth part is below. And there is a thick wall here, the pre-conscious barrier. So, how can you access, how can you reach? Because all sanskars, all patterns, all behavior, all belief system is here. And one of the methods is to calm the conscious mind. The more you calm the conscious mind, you can enter into the subconscious arena. Affirmations, repetitions, visualizations, these are the different methods by which you enter the subconscious arena. And there are so many layers here. Even you are not aware of these layers. There are hidden desires. Layer 4, layer 5, layer 5, layer 6. And this desire needs just a stimulus. And the stimulus comes here and the desire comes out. And you wonder from where this desire has arisen. And it makes you fall and it again goes and it hides itself. And then you try to make pledges on the conscious mind. I will not do this again. I will not become angry again. But the seed is here hidden. It came out and it got hidden. And if you try to go inside, you reach till here. That's it. You don't reach till here. So the process of spirituality is to access subconscious mind. The process of spirituality is to go deep within yourself. And that's why you need deeper silence. Without those deeper stages of silence, meditation will go on, but it will just a routine, something. So Vaishnava is somebody who is viceless, who is pure. And the level of work is at the level of subconscious mind. So purify yourself. Self-purification The song says, the one who respects everyone in the world and speaks ill of none. If you see somebody speaking ill of somebody, speech is the ultimate barometer of your spiritual progress. In spite of being here in this knowledge or in spiritual path for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, if the speech has not become purified, the subconscious mind is still impure. That's an indication. The one who respects everyone and speaks ill of none. Baba says, if there are 35 vices in somebody, defects, I see one virtue. 35 vices, 35 defects. It's too much. Huh? Even if one defect is in there, somebody, we want to avoid that person. We know he is always speaking untruth. So we don't want to have any interaction with him. We know that his person is not having very pure vision. We want to avoid that person. Baba says 35 defects. I still love him. I love everyone. Even the one who is not doing any effort. I still love him. Just because he is having one virtue, he has recognized me. That's it. That's enough. So basically he wants to love. He cannot just hate anyone. That's his nature. But he can do this only because he is detached. So detachment is needed. So true Vaishnavas who sees everyone as equal, that's why Mahatma Gandhi termed Harijan, those who are beings or companions, people of God. Everyone is equal. Give up desires, view everyone's tongue does not lie, does not touch others' wealth, is not bound by illusory attachment, whose detachment is firm, who is without greed or deceit, who has subdued anger and lust. He is true Vaishnava. Je peer padai jane re. So, our attempt is to become true Vaishnava, so that we can enter the kingdom of Vishnu. Self-checking, intense cross-examinations and self-examination and retrospection is needed. Om Shanti.